More news on the go for you. Limpopo Premier Phophi Ramathuba is set to deliver her maiden address, State of the Province address that is, at the Jack Botha's Hall in Polokwane to open the provincial legislature. Ramathuba succeeded Stanley Mathabatha after the May elections. She's expected to speak on her plans to try improve service delivery in the province. Watching developments is our reporter Kokejo Mutau, who joins us now live. And Kokejo, any telling what the Premier might focus on in particular? I know there's a lot riding on what she has to say as the first woman Premier of Limpopo.
Well, thank you so much, Ayanda, and good morning to you and good morning to the viewers there. I can tell you that indeed we are expecting the Premier here, to address the people of Limpopo. And one thing that really the people of Limpopo are expected to hear from the Premier is the issue of, service delivery. We understand that people of Limpopo have been protesting against poor roads, poor service delivery, lack of water, particularly in the Sekhukhune district, where people have got, a huge dam like, Dihuop. But people there are still thirsty. They're still not able to access water. So those are some of the issues that we are expecting the Premier to mention here. And we're also expecting her to speak about, the job creation. We understand that Limpopo is one of the provinces where young people particularly are still unemployed. And some of them are hopeless. They are not, they are no longer, even applying for jobs because they've been applying for years without getting those opportunities. But I also want to speak to the acting secretary of the Limpopo Provincial Legislature here, Dr. Isaac Nguna, just to know and also find out what we can expect today here. Dr. Isaac Nguna, thank you so much for joining us here on SABC News. What can we expect from the Premier? And I also want to understand what's the difference between this official opening of the 7th administration and a normal state of the province address?
Thank you very much. The difference between this kind of an event and a normal state of the province address is that, as you would know, on the 29th of May, there were elections that took place in South Africa. So this event is special because it marks the beginning of a term, the 7th administration, which is different from just a normal state of the province address, which sort of happens like annually. But this one is very special because it's a sort of a once-off event after like 5 years. Every time the term begins, and then we have this sort of an event happening. So, well, in terms of the expectations of the Premier, I think the Premier will be addressing the people of Limpopo on critical issues, some of them which we have mentioned, service delivery on the main. And what also makes it special is because it's for the first time that we're having a female Premier in Limpopo. We hope that she's going to talk about issues that will change people's life economically and socially. Thank you. Yeah.
I also understand that you used quite a number of, usually these kind of events are taking place at the provincial legislature, which is in Limpopo. But now this time around, you decided to bring this to Jack Botha's here in Polokwane. What informed that decision?
Thank you very much. The decision has been formed by the fact that, like as I indicated, this is a special, sort of an opening, and then it will sort of attract a lot of guests. So then we felt that this venue will be more convenient to accommodate all, because now this event has drawn a lot of people from different sectors, different spheres of life. So we felt that here Jack Botha's is more of a central point. But I mean, for any other event that is a normal one, we would have considered Limpopo.
Let's talk about the dignitaries expected to attend this event, and we also want to find out as to what time is the Premier going to address the people of Limpopo.
Thank you very much. The dignitaries, we have got traditional leaders. Okay, let me start with the main ones. The speakership will be here. The members of the legislature will be here. We'll be having kings, chiefs, religious leaders, as we have seen for yourself, and and many other people, ordinary citizens, of Limpopo. So yeah, it's going to be an event that has generated a lot of interest. So many people from various sectors will sort of attend. And it includes also HODs of departments and parastatals and all the key people in the province. Yeah.
And then in terms of what time is the Premier expected to speak to it?
The Premier is expected to start speaking around 11 or so, because by 10:30 all our guests are expected to be seated and be well organized. So I'm sure around 11 or so, then the Premier will be talking to the people of Limpopo. Yeah.
Obviously, this event, I understand that you spend some of the money to have an event like this. How much did the legislature spend this time around to host this event here?
Well, at this stage, I can't talk about how much we have spent, but I think you would understand that this is a special event, and then we will be able to talk about it as soon as the event is over, so that we are able to give you an accurate figure. But for now, that is where we are. We have budgeted enough to cater for this sort of an event.
All right, thank you so much for joining us here on SABC, Dr. Nkuna. That is Dr. Nkuna, the acting secretary of the provincial legislature here in Limpopo. And I can tell you that people are still coming in here. As you heard from Dr. Nkuna, is that the Premier is expected to address the people of Limpopo around 11 o'clock. And you can see people are still coming in here, taking pictures here. It's very, 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 beautiful day. And people are expected to hear from the first female Premier of Limpopo. You can imagine 30 years down the line, this is the first, female Premier we are having as the province of Limpopo. But for now, let's get back to you in studio, Ayanda.
All right, Kokhejo Motau, live from the red carpet in Polokwane. As soon as the Premier speaks, of course, we'll try listening for you and get you some of those salient points. Kokhejo Motau, for now, thanks very much indeed.